went to the mortgage company and I started going, oh no, they're going to find out about that Chevron gas card that I let go a couple years ago. And then buyer's remorse starts setting in. I'm like, oh, they're going to rake me over the coals here in the mortgage company. I'm like, I'm going to be so embarrassed. They're going to take out that credit report and they're just going to go like this. And I'm like, I'm not going to be able to do this. And I'm like, so what happened is then, of course, what we call buyer's remorse sets in. And buyer's remorse is a natural reaction to any home buying process. And I tell all my clients, one of the most important things to realize is that you will have buyer's remorse when you purchase a home. And it will either usually happen at the beginning of the process or it will happen at the end of the process or somewhere in between. And then also, if you're married, your spouse will also go through a buyer's remorse process, okay? The key here is to hope that you and your spouse don't have buyer's remorse at the same time, because that's when the deal falls apart. So I had my first bout of buyer's remorse. But you know, the lady was really nice at the mortgage company. She was in this big tall glass building. And I went up there and she was on the corner office. She was really nice, very accommodating, talking about how the federal government was going to help me out and get this mortgage. And don't worry about those last two little Chevron cards. Everybody has a couple glitches. We'll just write a letter of explanation and you'll be able to get your home. So I was walking out of that office and I saw all these busy people working. It was very busy in 1983 in Anchorage, Alaska. It was a real estate boom going on. I saw all these people working there and I'm like, this kind of looks neat. I kind of like what they're doing here. I think I could do this for a living. And so that's what started. So not only was I going to get a mortgage, but I also had a career move or an inspiration for a career. And so I was really like, wow, this is kind of cool. I'd like to sit on that corner office and help people. So that was my first experience of starting the process. You know, we got to go pick out the cabinet colors and pick out the carpet and watch this little house get developed. And I was really, really excited about the whole thing. And then it got towards the closing time. And then it was getting really, once again, that buyer's remorse set back in. I'm like, okay, the enormity of the whole thing, 30-year mortgage. I'm 19 and I'm going to be 49 by the time this thing gets paid off. Where am I going to be when I'm 49? And I'm like, oh no, you know, it's just like, I don't know. Buyer's remorse set in again. So I get to the closing table and I'm sitting there and my sister's sitting there. She was co-signing with me because I couldn't qualify quite all on my own. So she's co-signing with me and she's taking the pen and she's going, come on, little brother. She knew it was a great deal. Come on, little brother, come on. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. And so finally, you know, what happened is I signed on the dotted line and all of a sudden I went back to the house with the keys in my hand and all of a sudden all that buyer's remorse went out the door and I'm sitting there is no better feeling in a lot of ways of that first time of waking up in your own home for the first time, especially when I was my age. I thought it was a pretty darn good accomplishment.